Okay guys, I'm gonna be working on this 2002 Escalade. If it happens to you that you have on the message center low power, the most probably cause is the TPS, Throttle Position Sensor. Now, the location of the TPS varies. On this particular case, it seems like if it's right next to the alternator. So, in fact, it's right there, the TPS. So the alternator is very close. So, yeah, we probably gonna have to remove it to get to it. I don't think we're gonna be able to make it like that. It'll be very uncomfortable. So we're gonna get started. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get the battery out. I'm gonna disconnect the battery and take it off. Right now on my battery is kind of low, so I'm gonna recharge it. Okay. So I'm gonna remove this top cover. It seems like if it's missing a nut right here, or maybe that nut that goes underneath, I don't know, but it seems like something's missing. But we have to remove these two screws right there. It has two. And if you use a number 8 socket, you'll get it perfectly out of there. Okay, so I got one, and the other one should be over there on the back. Okay, right there on the back, and we're gonna remove it just the same way we removed this one. Okay, so I got that cover off. And you can see all the injectors right there. I want to remove this all this top housing just because it is on it the way. So this is for the throttle, and we're just gonna remove it so we can get it out of the way. That one, and we take this one from this side. We're just gonna pop it out just like this, and on this side probably have to loosen it a little bit more so that we can get it out of the way. So I got this out of the way, and we have the throttle right there, throttle position sensor that we're going to be replacing. I wish we can take it out without removing the alternator. That will be the ultimate. I think it's going to be really hard to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is just disconnect it. We just push this like that and pull it out, because I cannot do it with one. And yeah, once you push this pin, it comes out just like this. Okay. And it is disconnected. I'm gonna put it out of the way. Now we have two bolts, one on that corner on the bottom, which is the one that it's kind of like really hard to get to it. I don't know if it's gonna be possible without removing the alternator, but we can give it a try. By putting a number 15 on a tensioner and doing it clockwise, the belt gets loose, as you can see right there. So once it's loose, we can go ahead and remove it. Well, you didn't see that, I couldn't see it because of the camera, but see, I lose tensioner, number 15, right there, clockwise, take the belt off, okay? Using a number 15 socket, we're going to remove this side of the alternator. Why this side? So that way we can pick it up. This one, it can be moved up. So all we got to do is loosen it a little bit and we can pick it up. But this one, it should come out. And I'm going to proceed to remove the whole thing. Once you have finished unscrewing, this bolt should come out easily like that. Just going to put it on the safe place. Now we're going to loosen the other side. Just loosen it. We don't have to remove it, so that way we can pick this up and have space to remove the TPS. It's also a 15. Give it a couple of bangs to loosen it. Yeah, just like that. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna loosen it. That's it. That's it. Now we should be able to lift this up with a screwdriver or something and start taking the TPS out of there. So I'm gonna get something. So I found a chisel and I'm just gonna lift it up. There you go, just like that. See that? All right, fantastic. Now we got space to work in removing the TPS and order it. So let's get that done. Now guys, to be able to remove the TPS, don't ask me why, but they require a torque 20, but not any torque 20. They have to have that little hole in the middle, and it's a T20, and that's the only way you're gonna be able to remove that. Why they did that, I have no idea, but yeah, that's the only one it'll fit. And if you don't have this little tool, I bought that one on Harbor Freight Tool, pretty cheap, and it's got all kinds of torques with the security pin in the middle. Okay guys, so yeah, let's go ahead and remove it. Don't lose this one because it's real easy to lose. I'm gonna get the bottom one fixed. So I'm taking the bottom one. Okay. Once you have it loose, we can loosen it by hand. Put it on your pan. And then, yeah, we're ready to remove the TPS, okay? Okay, and I'm not gonna move that because that's probably the same way I want to leave the other one. Okay, this is it. This is the whole piece of equipment. Now we got the TPS removed. We need to get a new one and install it. Alright guys, so don't forget about this T20 torque little wrench. I'm gonna close it for safety. So I've got the new sensor, but before installing the new sensor, I'm gonna clean up inside the throttle right there. I'm just gonna get a towel and clean all the gum and all the stuff that is in there. I'm gonna open the throttle and clean it also through the inside, and that's before installing the throttle sensor. So I've got the new sensor, and it came with two new screws. And I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna install it. Like I said, it came with two new screws. You can use the old one or the new ones. The good thing about the new ones is that they don't have the pin in the middle, so I would like to use this instead of the other ones. There is no sense in using the other ones, but anyway. So we've got the sensor. The only thing we do is we have to match that flat portion of the sensor with the flat portion of the and then we're gonna put it on it and install the bolts. Okay, so the torque, it calls for the same one, which is a T20, but like I said, I don't have the pin in the middle, so this is good. And we're just gonna start driving the bolt in place. And also the good thing about it is that it already comes with the Loctite, the blue Loctite, which is the removable. Red Loctite is permanent. And I'm just gonna start it on. And I'm gonna start the second bolt by hand also. It has to fit perfectly right there, okay? So once you cannot do it by hand anymore, well, you gotta use your tool. 1/4-inch socket with the torque wrench and do it. And now we're gonna do the bottom. Make sure you're gonna drop the bolt. So I'm getting the bottom. So now the bottom one, the top one, I didn't tighten it all the way, so that way I can get the bottom one. But now that we got the bottom, I'm gonna tighten it all the way. Okay, that was scary. Okay, Do not over tighten it, but not over tighten. The blue Loctite will keep it in place. Okay, so we're good there. Let's continue on. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna make the connection. I'm gonna lower this thing. So that way the cables, because it's attached to it, but so the cables can reach. And I'm gonna proceed to make the connection. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Just make sure it doesn't go under. So once we got it, I'm gonna proceed and make the connections. Okay, bingo. So we got the connections on. Make sure the cables are not bad and torn. Now it's just a matter of bringing the alternator back in place. A couple of hits. It shouldn't take that much because I'm gonna see if it goes in. If not, I'm just gonna keep just banging a little bit. Until the bolt reaches freely. It's getting there. It's almost there. And I got it. Bingo. Okay. Before I put it on, I'm just gonna make sure I got the right socket. So, if you remember, it calls for a number 15. I'm also gonna bang it until you cannot push it anymore, and hopefully it's all the way in so that we can start tightening it. And it's already in there, and the rest is history. So tighten them up all the way. Okay. So I got it all the way. And the alternator, it's hooked on. Now I'm gonna push the ratchet, which I left it there in place, to loosen the tensioner again, so that way I can put it back on in here. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a tool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push the leveler down. That'll make the tensioner get loose. I'm gonna grab the belt. And I'm gonna try to put it back in. All right, something wrong there. So the reason I wasn't able to put it on properly is because the belt wasn't in place on the shaft. The belt has to be perfectly on the shaft to be able to, so that way we can put it back on where it belongs to. So I'm gonna do it again, and bingo, bingo. So we gotta make sure that everything is correctly in place. I didn't completely took off the belt, so that way you know, I wouldn't, because I don't have the schedule over here. You can get it online, but I didn't get it. So yeah, so we got this thing done, and we gotta remove the ratchet from there. Okay, so we got that done. We're halfway there. I say 80% finished. That was the hardest part. Now we got to put on the intake and all that stuff back. And that's it. Now we're gonna put the intake back in place, just like that. And we're gonna put this end back in place too. We're gonna put the screws. Let me see what it takes. So instead of screwdriver, I'm gonna use a 5/16 ratchet this time. And I think I'm doing it backwards, but that wasn't right. It's a little bit loose, that's why I like to use a screwdriver, but anyway, it's inside and I don't want to go all the way down. 5/16. You don't want any leakage, so make sure it's tight. Now we're going on the other side and tighten them up too. Going slow but sure. I got them so loose that way. Fell. Got it back. All right, we got the intake hose put back on. I guess there was a cover right there, so I'm gonna put it on also. But remember, before putting it back on, we gotta make sure we use the right socket, so that way it seems like if there is a quarter. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna use extension on this one. So yeah, we're gonna put it back on. And it has to match those two holes right there. Okay, just right in there. Okay, I'm gonna proceed Tighten it. This is one. And make sure this falls on top of that too. And the other one, it should go easy. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to see it. The camera might capture it, not me. So I'm gonna turn on the light. And there you go. So yeah, it's right in there. And if it is on the hole, I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten it all the way. And it didn't catch the hole, so okay. What I did is that I used my finger underneath to touch the hole, and then make sure the bolt lands on it, and it did. So now I'm gonna proceed and tighten it all the way. And of course, I'm gonna tighten this puppy like the way it's supposed to. And also on this side. Okay. Yep, that's the way it is. I believe there was a nut, but I don't see it right in here. I don't see the nut. I don't know what I did to it. I always put it somewhere. But anyway, this is done. So now the only thing I got left is to put the battery back on and turn it on and see if this puppy has power. Okay, and that should be it to changing that sensor. It isn't that hard. Next video I'm gonna make, it's gonna be for the steering wheel. Is leaking oil, and I suspect that it is from the master cylinder or what's behind it. I don't remember how it's called. I believe that's where it's leaking, but that's a different story. So we're gonna go ahead and put the battery on, and I'll come back to you. Okay guys, so I turned on the vehicle and I've got the power. I got all kinds of messages right now, like low fuel because the fuel gauge is not working, and change your engine oil, but I am not getting the no power anymore. So this puppy, it worked. This is a successful changed. It worked very well, and yeah guys, that's it. I'm just gonna put back on the rest of the stuff. This bolt, I don't know what this is for, but anyway. You have to put everything back on the way it's supposed to. Okay guys, I put the battery back on, and everything is good, running smooth. The sensor, it was a problem. Sometimes it's the connections, but this time it was the sensor itself. So this was another successful fix, saved a couple of $100. And if you like this video, please put the thumb up and make sure you turn on that bell, and we'll see you on another video of mine. All right, guys, thank you so much.